Hi everyone! So as I wear makeup and SPF every day, I double cleanse, first with an oil, then water-based cleanser.
So I have sensitive skin, so I'll only use one cleanser, either the gel cleanser or the Eco Mild Bubble Cleanser.
So as my skin can take a heavy routine, I want to ensure it stays smooth and hydrated. So I start with a toner to close my pores and hydrate straight after cleansing. Then I go in with an ampule to ensure my skin is glowing there and then. Then I absolutely love the Absolute Serum. It's tacky and hydrating and makes a perfect base for the rest of my skincare. If I'm in a rush, I will just stop there. Otherwise, I move on to the lotion to make sure my skin stays nice and hydrated both day and night, and it's super lightweight as well, so it doesn't feel heavy. Then I use an eye complex as my under eyes can get really dry. Always tap it on gently. You can even use it on your head and neck as well if you're worried about wrinkles. Then I always finish with a nutrition cream to lock in all that hydration, especially in winter or when your skin is really dry. This is really good for giving your skin an instant moisture boost.
So because I suffer with rosacea, I always go in with the Derma Cica set. It has 3 simple steps, but it combats my severe redness on my skin. So it has a very cooling effect and it's just ideal. I go in with all 3 steps every day. However, some days when I'm very busy, I will just go in with the cream as I feel like that is the most effective on my skin.
For my SPF, I use the Urban Shield Cushion because it's a hydrating base and it acts kind of like a primer as well as protecting my skin, so it's the perfect base before makeup and super lightweight for everyday use.
Next is SPF. I use the Essence Sun Cream to make sure I stay protective all day long. And then afterwards, I will go in with the Absolute Reset Balm as it has that absolute de-aging technology to help reduce fine lines, but also sometimes it helps with some of my dryness on my face.
So as my skin is quite clear, I just use a BB cream as my foundation to keep my look fairly natural and not to suffocate my skin too much. This one is really hydrating and has SPF in it too, so it's extra protection. I mix 2 shades together and gently rub in with my fingertips, and then I go in with a cushion just to blend it all out. Then just a little bit of concealer to brighten my tired under eyes. You can see I put it in a little triangle to really make sure that I brighten that under eye area. Then, because I never have much time, I use my blush as not only a blush but a contour and even my eyeshadow as well. I find this gives a sun-kissed look and means that my makeup blends together and looks natural. So I use a big brush for the main blush and contour to lift my face, and then I go in with a smaller brush for my nose contour and then my eyeshadow as well. I find normal contour can be a little bit too harsh sometimes, especially on the nose, so I prefer to use the blush. I also think that when you have eyeshadow, blush and lip, for example, all in 3 different shades of pink or orange or red, then it can look a little bit jarring, so I prefer everything to look like a full together look. And also it's so quick. Then as I have Asian lashes that just go straight ahead, I always have to curl them, and then I use a big brush volume mascara to hold them up all day and make them stand out.
So I like to use something that has a lot of coverage but also is still extremely lightweight on my face, because if I have flare-ups, I don't want the redness to come through too much, but I still want it to be able to breathe. So I use the Gold Collagen Ampule Cushion in shade 2. And then I'm sure you're wondering, why is she putting blush back on her face? Why is she creating more redness? It's not, I just need to add some life back into my face now because I'm too pale. But using this brush, it allows me to get to the places that I want the redness or the blush. And then I use the Be Slim bronzer. I use the first 2 shades to go into the crease of my eyes to create a little smoky look, and then I'll use the lighter shade over the rest of my eyelid. Next, I'll use some eyeliner. Gotta remember to shake first. But using the brush pen eyeliner, I find that it has a very precise tip, so it helps me create those nice sharp wings that everyone wants to achieve. And then the final step for me is going in with the mascara. I use the volume mascara, ignore my face, but I go in with the volume mascara.
All done!